and welcome to my channel. Well, I went kind of nuts looking for the Civivi Elementum the other day. I had to give up again. You know, that definition of insanity is to keep doing the same thing over again and expecting different results. Well, I went a little bit insane yesterday. I kept checking the same stuff over and over. I flipped a chair over I don't know how many times, thinking maybe I didn't look here, maybe I didn't look there. I looked in boxes and everything. And what I'm looking for is this. Not this knife, but this is a Civivi Elementum. This is the first one that I got. It's in D2. Yeah, I could just use this one, right? Why are you looking for that? Well, let me explain why the Civivi Elementum became my favorite EDC knife. And here's 10 replacements that I could just come up with. See, if I lost this one, which I did, I lost the other one was I think it was a Blade HQ exclusive. It was in S35VN steel. I like that better than D2. Just a personal preference, you know. D2 can rust and get stained. I guess S35VN can too, but I've never had it happen. And that was a steel that was pretty much designed for pocket knives. But anyways, this form, this factor, this blade shape, see, that's one of the things that reasons why I upgraded to the different version was that detent. Now usually Civivi Elementums have perfect, Civivi in general have perfect detents, where they always, you know, by the time you've had enough force to break that ball bearing detent, it will never do that. And the other one had no problem with that. So what I'm looking for is that with, you know, like a brown lanyard tied to it. All right, the reason why I'm not panicking is because I've got so many knives that could fill that role. And let's just look at, here are 10 examples with 2 honorable mentions. I threw these last 2 guys in there because they're a little bit larger than, you know, what an Elementum would be. They kind of fill the same space, but if you look at it, the thinness of this handle makes it easy on the pocket. A lot of times I fall asleep with my clothes on in the chair and I'll roll over on my side. And if this is in a pocket, you won't feel it as much as something that's got a little bit more girth to it, a little bit more, you know. Same way with like this. This is a great knife, but it's fairly thick, you know, in a pocket compared to the other ones. Not much. See, these are nice and slim. So what we have is Spyderco Sage 5 lightweight and Taichung Taiwan in S30V. Boker Kalashnikov automatic. It's either AUS-8 or D2. Cut jack. This is the guy that actually took the place of the Elementum when I lost it. Because I had lost the cut jack. It had fallen in the cushion of the chair and fallen down underneath the chair. When I found it, I picked it up and I put it in my pocket. And I took the Elementum and put it where? I thought I put it in that little box that I took a picture of before. I've looked in that box. That's another insanity thing. I've looked in that particular box at least a dozen times. I looked each individual knife around the rim, picked up everything in the bottom, verified that the Elementum was not in there, either by looking for a lanyard or looking for the shape. The Elementum was not in there. Go back and do it again later on. Check that box again. Maybe I didn't look hard enough, you know. Oh man, that's frustrating. That's like to me, this is like as if you've lost control of your mind. You just keep doing the same stuff over and over trying to find it. All right. The Delica is a lot closer to, this one's got wax all over the blade. I dug in a candle with it for some reason. The Delica is closer to that. But see, what I wanted was something that has a flipper, opens one hand, same size and shape, basically, at least, about a 3-inch cutting edge or so. Cut jack. I was carrying this guy again. I like it. You kind of forget about it. This one's a 9 CR 18 MOV, which I think, if I remember correctly, is close to 440C in composition, similar. Again, if you compare, it's a little bit bigger. It doesn't quite fit the shape. It's a good one. It's a good one. Firebird Gonzo. This is the FH51. I used to carry this one a lot. You can tell I put a lanyard on it. Nice pointy harpoon shape. It's got jimping back here, but it's got this smooth area here. You kind of like worry stone with it. It's nice and smooth. Pretty good. Pretty good. Little knife. Civivi Chronic. Again, another nice long kind of hologram. What is that? I'm seeing something. That's a hair. Hologram blade and everything. I'm not going to go over each individual spec, but see, it's about a 3-inch cutting edge. And like I said, used to be I would try to factor in something. This is the Civivi. It looks like a Praxis, but this is the what is this? The Insight. It's almost exactly like a Praxis, although it's got a bigger stop pin back here. You can't swap out the blades. I was thinking about doing it at one time. It's in D2. Yes, D2 will stain. That's a stain right there. It takes a little bit. These are stains. Some of them is just, you won't scrape off. Yeah, this is like a very well contoured, I think it's out of discontinued now. Very well contoured G10. I love this knife. It's just a little bit large compared to the Elementum. Now, what I've done is, a lot of times what I was doing was, this is what I like to have in my right front pocket all the time. A knife that's about 3 inches or so in length. When I was going out, I would usually swap that sometimes with a larger one, or just find another place to put the smaller knife. Now that I've got that Boker Kalashnikov XXL, I just throw that in my back pocket, and you've got a 4-inch Bowie blade, push button within reach. So I can still maintain a small knife in the front pocket, but if I need something longer and in more reach and bigger, I just whip out the Kalashnikov. So I can still go with the smaller one. So I don't need to have to go above 3 inches on the blades, although sometimes I do, because this carries, the Endura carries just as well as the Delica for me in the pocket. Yeah, it's a little bit longer. By maybe an inch, if you look at it. It's not any wider, it's just a little bit longer. And it carries exactly the same. So I'll usually go with this one. That's why I say I started swapping off the Elementum just because that's all I was carrying. That's all I was carrying. I would, all the time, every time, just throw it in my pocket. And I've got so many other knives. You see right here, all these are good. And if you don't put them in your pocket, then they have less of a chance of getting used. The ones in your pocket are the ones that have the most chance of getting used. This is a great replacement for it also. This is one of the ones that I used to carry a lot. The Gonzo FH41 in D2. Man, this thing feels like a really premium knife in hand. I'm probably going to start carrying this one until I can find the Elementum again. I won't necessarily throw a lanyard on it or anything like that because I can get a hold of it all I want. Small, little knife, considering that you've got a bigger knife on you. Oh, I love this one. You hear that? Thwack! It's a little knife with a big thwack. The Civivi McKenna Isham. No longer with us, unfortunately. Great little knife. Fantastic. This is my first front flipper. And if you've never had a front flipper before, this one was considered front flipper friendly because it always works. You never have a problem with it, except for one line right there. And you can just roll it out if you're not trying to get that thwack. See, I'm starting to goop up. There we go. But yeah, nice little, almost Tanto-ish sheepfoot, whatever, Warncliffy kind of looking blade. Here's a true Warncliffy. No, that's not the symbol that you think it is. This is a great little knife. Now I also have it. This is Dylan Mallory. This is the Artisan Archaeo. I also have it in all brass because this thing is so light. It only weighs like 2 ounces. Now the brass one weighs 4 ounces, which makes it, in a small knife, makes it a little bit more substantial. Let me go get that. So here it is all patinaed out in copper. But yeah, just this one I know I got from Smoky Mountain Knife Works. I think it was an exclusive. Just a great, look at that. Almost a Warncliffe, but it's more of a spear point. You can see that edge is not straight all the way down. It just almost comes to like a little pointy spear point. Yeah, there's a difference in weight between those. It's the exact same, it's basically the same blade, but with, different handles. And anytime you get brass or copper or anything like that, bronze, this added 2 ounces to the weight of the knife just from the scales. So there you go. That's at least 10 that I can come up with that I'm going to replace it with. And for right now, I'm going to go with the Gonzo Firebird FH41 and D2 until I find the Elementum. That's another, where's Cracky? Now this one, with Cracky, I went to a store. Uh-oh, I left my microphone down here. You can't even hear me. I went to a store with Cracky, and I had it in my pocket. The Elementum was in there too. But somebody was fighting with him, kicked him out, and he got kicked out and lost. This Elementum is in the apartment somewhere. I didn't go anywhere, so I know it's in here somewhere, and that's what drives me crazy. It's even worse because the Cracky I can write off. All right, you're lost. You're obviously not just misplaced somewhere here in the house. You're lost. You're not coming back. Anyways, there you go. Just thought I'd give you a little. I've got at least 10. I could come up with probably another 10 flippers that would easily take that place of the EDC knife. So, they say, that saying, you should have at least 3 of whatever item you've got, because 1 is none and 2 is, you're almost down to 1, so you should have 3 or something like that. I've got more than that. I don't have 10 Elementums, but, yeah, if you like something and it's working well for you and everything, yeah, it doesn't hurt to get duplicates because then you don't, oh, let me see. Oh, they don't make that anymore. Oh, they don't make it in that steel. Too late, you know. But at the time, I didn't have, the upgrade was, most of the EV Elementals were going for 50. I think this one was going for 80. I may have gotten it on sale, but it was somewhere around that price. I can't afford to get 2 of those at one time. Anyways, there you go. Do you have a backup to your favorite knife? And if so, is it the same knife or is it something different? It's probably something different for most people, but I know people that have one for carry and one for display or one for backup, you know. And that's usually a pretty good way to do it. It saves a lot of the hassle and, you know, problems of you've lost your favorite. Now, individual knives, you know, like the other can develop their own personality. You know, the other one was in micarta. You know, this is G10, and it could have gotten you out of scrapes. It could have been a handy companion. You know, it just, to me, the knives develop a personality after a while of using them, and sometimes they show it. But yeah, any of these would be fine if you think about it. Any of these are at least 3 inches. Any of these will cut. It's just what shape do you want? How much weight do you want to put up with? Handle, you know, all that. And one of the good things about being a knife collector is variety. I don't have to sit there and save up money to get another knife. I just dig in a box and pull out whatever I feel like using at that time. And yes, at this time in my life, I don't know the exact number of knives I have. It's not thousands. But I have more knives right now in my life than I ever had in my entire life. You know, this is the biggest collection of knives I've ever had. And it's simply because they're easier, they're easier and less expensive to collect than firearms, you know, so, and less hassle. No, you know, restrictions. You can carry them around a lot of times. And it depends on where you live, stuff like that. Like right here, I live in Texas, no restriction. I can pack a pistol if I want to pack one every day. I usually don't. I just don't because I'm not out that much and I'm not in a big city. Yeah, I know things can happen in small cities too. But anyways, there you go. I've rambled on too long. But yeah, just let me know if you have a backup. I've got a backup to the backup to the backup. But yeah, and what would you do if you lost your knife or it got misplaced? Would you buy another one or would you just grab an alternative? So, thank you for watching and have a knife day. A knife day. See, I'm not going to say that because another person used to close their video with that. There was actually a channel called there's a couple of them that were called Have a Knife Day, which is pretty cool, play on words. Anyways, there you go. Thank you for watching and have a nice day.